It's good again to join you. My name's Boniface, and I've been coaching you this week and just challenging you on certain tools that you need to be able to jumpstart your life. We began by talking about the 4 things you must never do if you want to become a victor in life. Then we began by talking about the tenets of a productive life. In our last episode, we discovered that if you're going to be productive in life, you've got to have a purpose that is driving you. A life without purpose is a life without reason. It's an empty life. Then we discovered that beyond having a purpose, you cannot go through life believing that things are impossible. You must cultivate a possibility mentality. Then number 3, we talked about being a pioneer, taking the initiative to move things forward, not waiting for people to give you permission to shine, but deciding that I am created to shine and I am not going to wait to be given permission to shine. And so we also talked about the need for perseverance, and we discovered that life does not give you what you deserve. Life gives you what you demand. And you've got to demand what you want by being persistent in going after it and by being tenacious and aggressive in going after it. There is nothing that you are given in life until you pursue it. And the proof of desire is pursuit. Anything that you don't pursue with perseverance, chances are that you are not interested in it. And so this week, I'm going to take you through just a few nuggets that can help you again in our whole conversation of being able to jumpstart our lives. I'm going to give you a few more tools that are going to help you to rise up from where you are and make something out of your life. God gave you your life, but the gift that you can give God is to do something with your life that is going to add value to humanity and add value to those that are around you. And so today, I am going to just give you 4 extra tools that are going to help you to further jumpstart your life and make something worthwhile out of your time on the earth. There are people who exist in life and they go through life counting days, and they go through life counting the number of times the sun rises in the east and sets on the west. But there are people who wake up every day with a resolve: I am going to rise higher, I am going to do more, I am going to be better, and I am going to add more value in life. And those are the people that I call movers and shakers. Movers and shakers are people who don't wait for life to move them, but they take initiative to move forward, and they take initiative to rise up and do something productive with their lives. What is it that makes somebody a mover and a shaker? Many times we are tempted to believe that the people that we see doing a lot with their lives are either more gifted than us, or they had more advantage than us, or that they had more resources than us. But I want to submit to you this morning with all humility that everybody is born in this world with only their birth suit on. Everything that you become between the time you are born and the time that you're put 6 feet under is your decision to make. And so today I am going to give you 4 tools that can help you to rise above being a commoner, being an ordinary person, to being a mover and a shaker regardless of the season that you find yourself in. And the first thing that I find that movers and shakers have is that they are moved with a burning desire. They have learned how to harness the force of desire and use it to do something productive in their lives. I remember one time I was reading the story of one Michael Jordan, who became one of the best basketballers in his generation. He was not the tallest, he was not the best, but he had a burning desire to be the best in the game. And because of the burning desire that he had, when they would go and do practice 2 hours after the other guys had left, he would remain in the field practicing and doing his game and trying to raise his game to another level. Why? He had a burning desire. You will never be able to be on fire for what you're doing unless you fan your desire into a flame. You have got to be able to raise your level of desire for what you want. You must think about it every day. You must think about it every night you go to bed, because what dominates your thinking will eventually show up in your life. One of the most powerful things that you can marshal, one of the most powerful things that you can use to work for you is the force of desire. How do you build your desire for something? One of the things that I like to tell people is, in your house you need to have a dream wall where you have photos and pictures of what you want, so that every time you see them, they feed your dream. Don't just go through life watching programs programs that are full of entertainment. Watch programs where people who are doing what you would love to do are doing their thing. Accumulate your time doing things that drive you and build your level of desire. One of the things that makes us not to be able to achieve a lot is because we have not built our desire. Desire is like a fire, and the only way to keep a fire burning is to keep adding the fuel. You have to keep adding the wood to the fire if the fire is going to keep burning. If you're going to be a mover and a shaker, you must desire it. You cannot be given what you don't desire. You cannot pursue what you don't desire. You cannot persevere for what you don't desire. In fact, the driver of true perseverance is a burning desire to get a result that you know will make you fulfilled and make you happy. I want to challenge you, don't go through life desiring vanity, desiring things that don't add value. Begin to desire the things that can make you count as a game changer in your generation. There are many people who go through life desiring things that cannot be termed as even ethical, things that cannot even be termed as even priorities, but they go through life desiring those things. But then there is a few group of people, men and women, that have decided to separate themselves from the ordinary, and they have decided, I am going to be the best. But how do I become the best? I must protect my desire. I must desire on what counts and not what is vanity. Don't go through life being trampled by the elephants when you're chasing mice. Don't pursue things that are of a trivial value. Decide in your life that you're going to pursue things that are of a great value. Work on desiring things that matter. Desire is a powerful, powerful force. Have you ever realized that when you're desiring something, there is a way in which you go after it? You don't just walk after it. You don't just stroll after it. You literally run after it. Why? It is a burning desire on the inside of you. Every person that has ever achieved anything great, they were able to achieve it because they built the fire of their desire. They invested in their desire. They sought mentors that were going to help them to build up their desires. They read books that were going to help them to build up their desire. They went to places that were able to help them to build up their desire. Desire is a very powerful thing. Beyond desire, there is something I call decision, because it is one thing to desire something, but it is another thing to decide to go after it. Decision, not emotion, will determine your destiny. Many times we go through life being controlled by our emotions. We are controlled by what we feel, but we fail to realize that what we feel is always subject to what we decide. You may be feeling tired, but you can decide, I am going to go beyond my tiredness and I am going to invest in that which I want. I remember one time when I was in high school, and you know, when many of us were in high school, we would wait until the last week of the exams. That's when we would begin to read. And you know, most of the times we would read late into the night. Why? Because we had decided we want to cram what we needed to cram, so that when we get into the exam room, we are not blank in our minds. Now you realize that regardless, we were not less sleepy than in other days. We were just as sleepy as the other days. But you know what drove our ability to study late into the night is the power of decision. It is one thing to desire something, but until you back up your desire with a solid decision that is immovable and non-negotiable, you will never be a mover and a shaker. One of the things that drives people that move things forward, one of the things that makes people shakers and not the shaken, is that they are able to make firm decisions about who they are, about what they want, and about where they want to go. Your decisions determine your destiny. You can never change your life until you change how you make your decisions. The difference between a good life and a better life is simply a decision. The difference between a mediocre life and an excellent life is simply a decision. The difference between a bad relationship and a good relationship is simply a decision. You must purpose to live life based on decisions that are rooted on values and not based on emotions that are based on how you feel and how you want to feel. You must make decisions that are aligned to your destiny. Don't decide based on where you are. Decide based on where you want to go. If you want to be a person that is not obese, don't eat because of what that food tastes in your mouth. Eat because of what it will make you in your body. Your decisions are critical in terms of determining your future. You cannot change your destiny in a moment, but you can change your decisions in a moment. And the moment you change your decisions, you change the trajectory of your life. If you look at every person that was a mover and a shaker, number one, they had a burning desire for something, but they not only desired it, they built a decision framework that was supportive of what they desired. The problem with many of us is that we have desires, but we don't back up those desires with decisions that can move us forward towards what we want. Any positive decision that you make moves you closer to what you desire. Every negative decision that you make takes you farther from what you desire. I want to challenge you today. Don't just go through life erratically, not auditing your life. As a matter of fact, it was Socrates that said that a life that is not evaluated is not worth living. And how do you evaluate your life? You evaluate your choices. Your choices, not your chances, determine your consequences. Let me challenge you today. Make decisions that move you towards your destiny. So we begin with a burning desire. Then we add something called a decisive spirit. There is a beautiful proverb that I love that says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. What does that mean? If you're not decisive, you cannot move in the direction of your destiny. You cannot move in the direction of becoming a mover and a shaker. You desire it, then you decide to make a decision. And then number three, you must be devoted to what you desire. What is devotion? Devotion is a commitment that makes you do what you have to do to get what you want to get, regardless of what you feel. Most people are ruled by emotions, but great people are ruled by their devotion. They are committed to a cause. They are driven by a purpose. They are governed by a vision, and they are regulated by values. They are devoted. They are not just men and women that are erratic and are moved by the whims of the moment. They are people who rise up and commit to their cause, because commitment is what makes you to become a person that is admired by people. People are not admired because of what they desire. They are admired because of what they committed to and were able to create a result because of what they committed to. Let me challenge you today to live life by devotion, not emotions. I like saying, intent without commitment will make you impotent. Intent without commitment. You may have an intention to do something, but if you don't add the power and the force of commitment behind it, you will not be able to arrive at a result. Intention without commitment will make you impotent. It will cause you to live a bankrupt life. And let me tell you something, there is nothing as terrible as going through a life that is bankrupt and a life that is hollow, because you have no commitment to what you're doing. Commitment means that when you wake up and you decide, these are the 10 things that I'm going to do, you decide, I am not going to put my head on that pillow until this is done. Commitment is the name of the game. Commitment is what separates the men from the boys. Commitment is what separates the achievers from the mere desirers. There are people who were not able to move their generations, not because they did not have what it takes, not because they did not have what it takes to conquer and become great at what they do, but they refused to commit themselves to their cause and to the vision that they had decided to pursue. So number one, we have said the force of desire. Number two, we have said the force of decision. Number three, we've talked about the force of devotion. And finally, there is the last one that I know many of us don't like, but it governs a great life. Any place you see a great life, you are seeing the embodiment of what I call great discipline. So we begin by desire, then we go to decision, then we go to devotion, and we finish with discipline. Men don't become great because of the size of their talent. Men become great because of the size of their discipline. And discipline is not fun. Discipline is not one of those words we love. It is not a pleasurable term. It is a difficult thing, because discipline demands sacrifice. Discipline demands commitment. Discipline demands self-denial. But But it is only when you release yourself to the power of discipline that you can rise up into new levels of greatness and achievement. Anytime you see a person that has weak discipline, they are headed towards a small future. If you're going to enlarge the size of your tomorrow, you have got to expand the quality of your discipline today. I want to challenge you today to refuse to live your life at the level of common. Decide to be extraordinary. Decide to be admired. Decide to be coveted by men and women that are alive in your generation. And the only way to do that is that you must fan your desire. You must develop a desire that does not stop. And then number two, you must make a decision to pursue what it is that you desire. You must block out everything and choose to be focused even as you pursue what it is that you want. Desire it, make a decision to it, devote to it, be committed to it. And then number four, build the discipline that is required to rise to the top of your game. There is no person that rises that has weak discipline. Discipline is the difference between champions and wannabes. I want to challenge you today that one thing you must do: raise the level of the bar of discipline in your life. If you're going to rise up and become who you are created to be, you can no longer live life on the plane of pleasure and luxury. Decide, I am going to be a disciplined man, I am going to be a disciplined woman, and the more disciplined you become, you will realize the more distinguished your future will be. I do hope that you're going to take these 4 tools and apply them to your life, and as you do that, you will rise to the level of your game, and you will not just be a commoner, but you will be a mover and your shaker in your generation. I pray that you will not just hear these words, but you will apply them in your life, and you're going to live to be an asset to your generation and not a liability. May God bless you. May you enjoy your day, and may you desire to be a mover and a shaker in your generation. We'll see you another time. As for now, goodbye and God bless you.